Hi there, everyone. I'm Dr. Leanne Kalaba, DC, along with my practice partner, Dr. Chris Cox, and our team here at Lifeline Wellness Center. With the challenge we are all facing right now, as with any challenge in life, our hope for you is to come out on the other side of it better than when you went in. Healthier, stronger, happier, more present, and more at peace. So with this in mind, we have been providing a series of short videos to help you do your part, to create a better, healthier life for you, your family, and other loved ones. So today I'm focusing a bit more on mindset with a discussion about stress-caused anxiety and some tips you can implement for yourself. So we see stressed out people in the office on a regular basis, and we've picked up some tips or tricks along the way. So what I've observed over the last 10 years is that an anxious mind, a stress-filled mind, is a powerful mind, and it can outrun and outwit rational logic any day of the week. But it is possible to retrain your thoughts, and I want to give you some tools to help you do this on your own at home. So stress anxiety tends to be a future-oriented state of mind. So when you're trying to calm yourself, it's important to reel yourself back into the present moment. So this can be difficult because we as humans, we're designed to be on a high alert for danger. And with information coming at us from all directions and at all speeds, this adaptation sometimes works against us. So it's especially true right now with everything that we have going on, right? So sometimes it can feel as though anxiety is actually protecting us from what could happen, which is valid to an extent. But letting anxious thoughts take control within our minds is also kind of like walking around with an umbrella waiting for it to rain. So the next time you find yourself spiraling into a tornado of anxious thoughts, I want you to try this technique. It's called the 3-3-3 rule. I want you to look around you and name 3 things that you see. Then I want you to name 3 things that you hear. And then finally, I want you to move 3 parts of your body. So this is a technique that can help center your mind and bring you back to the present moment when your brain is running a million miles a minute. So when your body and mind are in panic mode, it's easy to slip into the worst case scenario. For times when you're spinning and fixating on the worst possible outcome, you can also do something like rephrase the way you think. So I'm going to use an example that I think we can all laugh at. So let's say you get set up on a blind date, and instead of thinking, I'm going to be so awkward on this date tonight, and it's going to be terrible, I want you to say to yourself, I'm nervous, but I'm going to be myself, and they'll either take it or leave it, and I'll make the best out of whatever happens. So just that simple rephrasing can help. So getting into the habit of rethinking your fears and correcting them helps actually train your brain to come up with a rational way to deal with those anxious thoughts. Another tip is that breathing can help calm you down. Did you know that? When you breathe, inhaled air allows blood cells to receive oxygen, of course, and release carbon dioxide. And carbon dioxide is a waste product that's carried back through your body and exhaled. But improper breathing can cause an upset in this exchange and lead to anxiety, panic attacks, fatigue, and other physical and emotional disturbances. So when we're anxious, we tend to take shallow, rapid breaths that come directly from the chest, and it's actually called thoracic breathing. So thoracic breathing can cause an upset in that oxygen-carbon dioxide exchange that I just mentioned. It can result in increased heart rate, maybe even dizziness or muscle tension, and other physical sensations. Now, in contrast, when you are doing abdominal or diaphragmatic breathing, it forces you to take deep, even breaths, which sends signals to your body that you're actually relaxed. So I want you to look down right now and see where you're breathing. Is your chest only rising and falling, or is your stomach or abdomen rising and falling? So I want to make sure you practice breathing so that your stomach rises and falls. You can practice this, slow your breaths down, inhale for about 5-second length of time, hold your breath maybe for 3 to 4 seconds, and then exhale for 5 seconds. So know that sometimes when people start doing these trained breathing exercises, it actually kicks off a little bit of anxiety when you first practice. So I don't want you to go down that path. If that happens to you, just take a break, try again in a day or so, and you just build up gradually over time. Like anything else, it takes practice. Now, another item is that sometimes all you need to interrupt your stress-filled train of thought is action. Sometimes as simple as getting up to throw away a piece of trash can snap you back into reality and pull you out of a funk. So if that doesn't work, you could opt for something bigger, things like taking a hot shower, preparing a meal. Activities like these require your brain to refocus on an alternative task, and they also change your physical position and location, which can act as a refresh button on your mind. So sometimes the anxiety and the stress is actually caused by a buildup of adrenaline, which can be addressed by something as simple as, again, activity like taking a walk. Fresh air can improve your well-being. One study even found that people who took a walk to a wooded area had lowered the production of their stress hormones. So if you don't live in a walking-friendly neighborhood, especially in Tucson, you can maybe take a trip to the Loop or the Riverwalk, Sabino Canyon. I know there's a trail on the south side of town as well. You can also, if that's not a viable option for you, you could look up yoga videos on the internet to follow along with. At the very least, stop what you're doing and make yourself do some jumping jacks or some knee raises, whatever you're physically capable of doing. So another issue is when a person is stressed and anxious, there's a tendency to turn to unhealthy eating habits to cope with those emotions. So this usually goes one of two ways: either eating an excess of unhealthy foods like sugar, salt, and alcohol, caffeine, or not eating anything at all. So if you're in the first camp, it might be tempting to reach for something sweet, but those chocolate chip cookies are going to do more harm than good. So research shows that sugar spikes make us feel even more anxious. So I want you to opt for a glass of water instead, and maybe some protein, which will provide a slower stream of energy for your body to use. Now, if you're on the end of undereating or forgetting to eat or avoiding food, that can actually result in low blood sugar and also makes you feel more anxious, irritable than you were to start with. So if you tend to skip meals when you're anxious, what I want you to do is really consciously choose a well-balanced meal of proteins, veggies, and healthy fats. In either case, avoiding excess caffeine and alcohol is essential. Caffeine is a well-known anxiety inducer, and alcohol simply messes with your serotonin levels, so it makes your symptoms worse. Instead, you can opt for water. You may not realize it, but not drinking enough water can make your anxiety symptoms worse, because dehydration can cause things like heart palpitations, which could lead to feelings of panic. So one of the worst parts of feeling anxious is when you can't really pinpoint why you're feeling that way. So writing is something that can help you. Do you remember when you were in school that your teachers used to tell you to rewrite your notes before a test so that your brain could actually recall and process them better? So a similar thing works with journaling. If you have hundreds of little thoughts swirling around in your head, and in your mind and kind of jabbing at you all day, then writing them out on paper can help your mind process everything in a way that makes more sense. In other words, writing out your thoughts forces you to put the kind of gibberish or random thought processes into a fluid storyline. So you might also surprise yourself by what you're writing. As you tap into your analytical left brain to write out your thoughts, phrases and ideas and statements can pop up that were kind of stuck a little bit too far back in your minds for you to realize actually what was going on. So those stresses can feel really powerful, but once you write them out on paper in front of you, they might seem less scary, and it can help you regain control of your emotions. So another piece I like to highlight here is one element of modern life that can absolutely trigger anxiety, and is doing so at a fantastic rate right now, is social media. So while things like Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, they can be beneficial in keeping us connected and up to date with news and things like that, most mental health consultants agree that social media has also become an anxiety-provoking factor. So part of that, one is a lot of misinformation that simply gets posted on social media, but also the compare and despair issue. And that is when when you're on social media, you're looking at filtered snapshots of a friend's highlight reel, and the behind the scenes reality can feel like your life pales in comparison to what this person is posting. So this can lead you to feelings of self-consciousness, unworthiness, or a sense of feeling like you don't measure up. What's worse is that social media is extremely addictive. One study actually found that it's more addictive than cigarettes. So to help you break free from social media, or at least cut back, I suggest deleting the app from your phone. That's a pretty big step. So maybe if that's too much, you can keep it on your phone, but maybe don't put it on the main screen. That way it's not in the forefront of your mind. It's harder to get to. Then at least when you look at your phone, maybe you'll be a little bit less tempted to check your news feed. Many people find success from taking a break from social media, or a social media cleanse. Announce to your friends that you'll be staying off of a given platform for a certain amount of time. And at the very least, just be aware that scrolling through other people's lives can bring on these feelings of anxiety. So the next time you're checking Instagram or Facebook and feeling down about yourself, know that that's where some of these thoughts may be coming from, and you simply log out and stop doing it. So the last item or tip for you is always to talk it out. Find someone who understands what you're going through. So if your feelings of anxiety are making it hard to get through daily tasks, then of course you should definitely speak with a professional. But in the meantime, talking to friends can also help. So almost everyone can relate to symptoms of stress and anxiety and panic attacks, which means that it's totally okay for you to be open with probably most of the people in your life about the way you've been feeling. If you're out and about when anxiety hits, say spending time with somebody, let them know what's going on and that you need a change of pace, or maybe you want to go home early. They will hopefully understand. If you're stuck at home without the desire to leave your house, reaching out to let someone know that you're kind of feeling stuck or in a rut can also help pull you out. Your friends might even have some guidance on what to do or how to feel better. If they know you well enough, they could even point out something that that might have triggered you to feel the way you do, and remind you of all the good things that are in your life and that you love, and just how fantastic you really are. So I've just gone over some very simple steps you can use to help yourself deal with stress-caused anxiety. In our current environment, it's not surprising that for many folks, stress levels are at an all-time high. And my hope is that these steps might provide you with some relief and comfort. And remember, in these uncertain and even scary times, we here at Lifeline Wellness Center want to help guide you to empowered actions that help build your health and create a better life. So I'm Dr. Kalaba, DC, and I will see you in the next video.